This conference will now be recorded.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Mitchell County Board of Supervisors meeting. Today is August 26th. The meeting is available by GoToMeetings as well. We have an agenda in front of us. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I move to approve the agenda.
Pam made a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Todd, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Approve the minutes of the August 19th meeting and claims. Everyone get a chance to read over those? Any corrections needed? Is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion for August 19th meeting and claims.
Mark made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Jim, second. Any further discussion?
Roll call, Mark.
Aye.
Pam.
Aye.
Sydney.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Todd.
Motion passes. County attorney?
Don't have anything for you today, unless you have something for me. I do have to leave here probably about 9:15 or so. I have some court hearings upstairs. Next week, I think it's next week. Right, next week's Tuesday, Labor Day and Tuesday. Yeah, I won't be here next Tuesday. I have depositions in a civil case I have that start about 9 o'clock. Probably go all day, so I'll probably send an email out later this week. Not that I'm that important anyway, so people know.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sure.
Oh, I guess the same. I don't have anything for you guys. If you have questions for me, I'll be happy to take them.
Questions for the sheriff? Okay. We'll move on. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Discussion and possible action on Mitchell Town Hall and Machinery Building is next. Good morning.
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 Come on up.
For the last 3 or 4 years, we've been talking about replacing our city shop just because the roof's been falling in and it's really not big enough, dirt floor and everything. So now, we were here back in February, I believe, and we were talking about possible finance for that. And since then, other things that came up, I found out that a lot of people ain't happy with the condition of the city hall itself, especially like poll workers. It brought my attention last week. So anyway, we've got a proposal. I'm sure you all got a copy of just replacing the whole structure, raising the whole thing and starting over. And the reason we're asking for funding is because, for one thing, the cost of it, we've been trying to save for just the city shop. And we've been trying to build up our road money to use that. And then our roads are falling apart now too. We just can't seem to keep up with inflation to get the whole thing done. So that's why we're asking for help.
It's difficult. You're a small town. You don't have a lot of tax space to actually.
The tax base has gotten better in the last couple of years. I've seen a couple of people build some houses and stuff, but it's tough.
And how much are you asking?
250. The bids come up to 233, but there's always an overrun, and there's some things in those proposals that I didn't care for that were overlooked. So I know it's going to run over the 250. I know it will.
Okay.
For one thing, they didn't put nothing in there for floor coverings. You got to cover the cement with either epoxy or tile or something for the town hall part of it.
Okay.
There's other things that just were overlooked. It's just put together quick just to get the number out there.
Are there things you guys can do to help actually help defray some of the cost? I mean, as far as some of the construction or some of the interior work or?
I'm thinking
Something.
probably maybe, they were talking about that last week at the council meeting, that we could probably find somebody locally to help us with some drywall work and stuff like that. But I think we could. But right now, it's such a stretch for us to take it on ourselves, so I don't see it happening.
So there, was some talk about, possibly holding some events that could help raise some funds. As
We've got
well.
a couple council members that are eager to try to do something like that, because they think they have the time to do it, they want to have like a street dance like they did years ago, and then
Okay.
just have the building open for rental for events, like
Yeah.
baby showers, bridal showers, whatever, so that's what they're hoping, to make better use of the building once it's up and being used.
Because it is right next to that park that you've updated
Right across the street.
and the playground and
Yes.
that area.
So right now, people do use that park occasionally, and sometimes people will rent City Hall and they'll use the park for overflow, that shelter across the street, so it does get used more than I thought it would, so.
So right now you are renting at times that building out, is that
We do,
correct?
yes, we do.
So, which you, with a much improved building would be more logical for people because it's
It would be more attractive, I think.
attractive,
Yes.
because that inside of City Hall is.
It's just full of mold and stuff in there, yeah, the air is stinks, in there. It's an old building. Ventilation's poor in it. Basement's damp.
Yeah, and I could see by the pictures that you've got,
We get complaints after every election or during the election every year from the ladies that man that station. Is there anything we can do to ventilate this place? Because we have a front door and that's the only ventilation we have. And when the election's first week of November, it gets a little chilly with that front door open. So there's not really any options in that regard.
so you have a budget of $250 because floor coverings and some other things weren't,
250, just because there's always a 15 to 20% overrun. I've never seen a building project come in the budget, I never have.
but that doesn't include any possible, use of some funds you've saved up or some,
No,
community events maybe that you
no,
could
this is just.
shave this off a little as far as your ask. Let me ask that question.
I think, as we had talked, Pat and I the other day, regarding that $250,000 figure, the city has a little bit of a reserve cash, but it's not much. And if we tap into that, it puts us in a precarious position if the worst should happen or if we need roads done. So we're prepared to contribute some of that, but then it puts the city in a really tight spot for other projects that might need to be
Yep.
necessity done.
I see on the bottom, you have Mitchell County Economic Development Loan for $20,000. Is that possible that they can use? Todd, do you know that might be a possibility?
Sure.
So maybe we could knock that ask down a little bit that way. If, either way, it's county funds, but
Well, yeah, but that is a repay, so you have to pay that back.
right, but it would be like a 3-year loan at 0% interest rate. Is that right? 3-year, but it's amortized over,
No, it's,
I think it's
3 or 5?
I think
Talking
it's
about
5.
CRP. That's
Yeah.
5-year.
It's 5-year.
Yeah.
So that would, at
But you pay it
0%.
We're doing our urban renewal amendment. If we were to include that with this could be based on a not to exceed amount. And so then if some of this comes in under the 250, it doesn't mean that you send them the 250. It's just that that's available. And if it comes in under that, then that's what they would get.
And according to the urban renewal, that area is already included in the wraparound there through Mitchell. So you have all that paperwork completed if in fact you chose, if the board chose to use TIF funding, then that part of it's,
Yes, saying it differently, I included the whole road through the whole town, so it
Yep.
becomes contiguous with our urban renewal area. So it qualifies, yes. The parcel would have to be put in. And if the board chooses to do it through the urban renewal amendment, somebody from the city would need to sit down with Rachel to confirm that we have the exact parcel description. And then that's our end, that we would put that in the urban renewal amendment, but you would need to talk with her to make sure.
I would offer to take it out of local option sales tax. Instead of
Yeah.
tiffing it. That's just my thought.
Whatever the board wants to do.
There's 1.7 million in that local option right now.
Under certain circumstances, I'd be for that too. But if we would put it under the urban renewal projects, our internal money that we borrow, we can charge our own interest rate on that so we could basically get more money back by adding, like we did on the last year's, we put a 5%, I believe. So we'd be getting more money back from what we borrow internally. So if we left the 250 in there, whatever we decide to take out for our internal loan, we would be getting interest back on that money. Just my thought.
We wouldn't be losing the local option sales tax, it just actually being a funding source and get paid back. We wouldn't lose the capital in there.
so the thought is that this would be added to your TIF projects then, as opposed to funding it through local option sales tax.
It wouldn't be your TIF projects, it would be our TIF projects.
Right.
The board.
Depending on where we can land as far as repayment abilities, because you're at 2.1 a year for the next 3 years. That you have the ability to pay back.
Heidi was I spoke with her at ISAC because I knew this was coming up and asked her in regards to this and this dollar amount. What I came up with is 231,868 as far as the total of all of their stuff. But I asked her about 250,000 and she said she didn't feel that would be an issue as far as if we included it financially.
Any other ideas for your funding source? Other than a street dance and,
I'd just go to the bank, and get a loan too. I talked to the bank, he said it comes down to they'll work with us, so I do have that option too.
Would you be able to get a construction loan as far as the construction? Because a lot of times we do this based on substantial completion. We wait till you have it pretty much completed.
Okay, I'm not sure on that, but I can check on that.
I have a construction loan that, I know the Historical Society did that. They did a construction loan and built the thing.
I know that they want to look at our budget before they give us an amount and a payment schedule, so he wants to do it, so I'll ask about that.
As we've discussed internally at our city council meetings, we've never borrowed any institutional money before because it wasn't even written into our city code that we could. And borrowing money was kind of our last resort because it's taken us 5 or more years to accumulate the small amount that we already have. Our tax base doesn't come back in as quickly as some other cities in the surrounding areas, so borrowing institutional money was kind of our hope as our last resort.
In the past, we've done city streets, Heartland Asphalt always carried us. They did the project and they charged us interest and we would make payments till it was paid off. And then that'd be like 4 years, and we'd start over and do another road and just make payments on us. They've always been our creditors, so it's always worked.
That's good they work with you that way.
Yeah.
That's good.
We did get a loan before for that park. I know that the bank worked with us on that before too. But I don't think there's an issue getting a loan. I think we could dip into our reserve and pull some out of there too if we had to. I'm confident that we do that. We have to.
What's the board want to do? I mean, there's another agenda item in regards to the ERP projects. So for this one, does the board want to include it? So we talk about it later, or pay for it now, or what's it they want to do?
I'll make a motion to give 200,000 on local option sales tax for the Mitchell Town Hall and Machinery Building.
Mark made a motion. Is it a second?
I would second that, at the $200,000 level.
So how much did you say?
200.
200? Okay. Any further discussion?
Personally, I think we can do better than that, but, well, if we can help better than that, but.
You can always add some later if we need to. Or can't we?
Not if we use the internal loan through the local option sales tax, because then that will be committed.
So you're tying up, not you, so the thought is that we would tie up all the local option sales tax money to be used as collateral for the loan for TIF,
We didn't,
in addition to the TIF income.
we didn't tie it all up last time, so. I mean, that's, I guess, up to us how much we want to tie up to.
Right.
I guess I'm just afraid if we do the 200,000, I believe they might have under 50,000 in their reserve. So that's still not gonna get the project done, is that correct?
I don't think.
Because you can't take everything out of there.
It's gonna, that 250 is it's gonna be tough. Just because there's things in the packet that I see it ain't there. There's things that gotta be added in there.
Yes.
I mean, if you had 15% onto that 233, that's 265 or 269,000. So we're already over the 250 just by math. So yeah, there's a chance that your scenario is a pretty good possibility that we're gonna be short.
I'm sorry.
I just jotted down a few things that aren't included in that. I mean, things that we're gonna need, like a kitchenette area, sinks, cabinets, an island to put all the crack pots on. A sidewalk going down the west side of the building to the bathroom for the people that can just use it from the outside. If they wanted to put a drop ceiling in, they're worried about the echo. So if we put a drop ceiling in, that's gonna cost quite a bit more. Concrete out in front of the building, which isn't in real good shape. It's got cracks in it. So where do you stop? But it's all things that are gonna have to be done eventually.
And none of those things are included.
So them aren't included in the estimate.
Yep.
Thank you.
So we're gonna run well, probably over 250, but hopefully we could come up with the rest to finish it out, which I'm sure we probably can if we can get some events going. Once the building's
We can
done.
make it work, yes.
Roll call, Todd,
No.
Jim,
No,
Sydney,
No.
Pam,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Motion does not pass.
Well, we're still under the agenda item. I guess I'll just make a motion that we consider this in the item number 10 to include it into the urban renewal amendment at a $250,000 not to exceed amount. That's my motion.
Jim made a motion, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second. Any further discussion?
So I guess my question is, are you voting now on your
No, he just
TIP
said,
projects, or you're just, because isn't that part of discussion and possible action on projects to be included in the 2025 urban renewal
his
amendment?
motion was for it to be moved to the discussion at the urban renewal amendment.
I guess I don't know that we need a motion for that, but, okay, go ahead.
Roll call, Jim,
Aye.
Sydney,
Aye.
Pam,
Aye.
Mark,
No,
Todd.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, we'll come back to it.
Right, thank you.
Thank you.
You guys.
Department head discussion. Any department head discussion this morning? Don't see anything online. Rachel, anything?
No, I'll just be sending out the agenda on Thursday since we're closed now.
All right. County engineer.
Morning, Rich. Morning.
Good morning.
Well, a couple things. The detour route's gonna be open today. Finally got it painted yesterday, so that's done. I don't see any issues with any punch list items that I know, other than a few things we've got to finish up. Our used grader came in on Friday, so we've got that set in the yard. They took one of our old ones out. And some of that equipment I brought to your attention last week about some we might try to use Gov Deals. I know the state uses Gov Deals too to sell some of that stuff, so we'll just see what's going on, whether we use that platform or not. But anything we sell, we'll put an ad in the paper and let people know that's where to go to bid on anything if we do end up going that route. The BIP grant information I told you about, where we were submitting 2 bridges. Mitchell County made the semifinal list from the committee, and the bridge that they selected to be in that was I'll call it a Stillwater Bridge for lack of a better term. It's the one on the curve down there on the Stillwater area there. Finally can maybe make something happen. Now, I don't know that we'll even put an application in, but it's up for discussion. We're setting up meetings with the grant committee and the other communities. Worth County got a bridge in too. I think there's maybe 6 or 7 other counties that got bridges into this grant. We've been pretty fortunate to be even on the finalist list. So we have some pretty bad bridges, but that's in there. Whether or not the committee decides to go after the grant, it's another one of those short timeline things where the grant information is due November 1st. I don't know why they can't give us a little bit more time, but that's in there. So we'll see what we can get. We haven't heard anything back from the other 2 grants that we've submitted in yet. So. And then I think a year ago, we had talked about the DOT is going to be doing some work on Highway 9 from Riceville towards the 7 mile, the 4 mile curve, the 4 mile intersection out there where it heads down to Floyd. And they asked us then, and I think I brought it to the board's attention. I think we're going to do it just to kind of confirm that. And I told them that we were going to do it because I remember you guys saying that they want to pave. They usually just that 10-foot fillet, but we wanted to go back further on our gravel roads. So when they paved that, their contract paved back about 30 feet or 40 feet into the gravel roads, keep the rock off the main highway there. And that estimate was about probably $130,000 worth of work. But something that we would do if we were doing the project, and it kind of keeps things cleaner. It keeps our equipment off the main highway when we're blading. So just an update on that. So that's all I've got for you, an update on work. The shouldering project's still continuing to go. I think they've got March Avenue done, now they're working east and west. So still haven't gotten the signed contract back for that project. When I do, we'll bring that to the board for approval on that asphalt paving project.
Are you gonna be here after the meeting? But I got a question about the asphalt paving project.
Yep.
I want to look at the plans with you, so.
Sure.
Questions on.
And then the other thing we've got on the agenda is that water main tie-in from Stacyville, and I think you guys got a copy of that or whatever. I left a few things blank. Just because I didn't know if you wanted to put a timeline on the, how long we're gonna have this agreement in place, whether it's perpetual or 50 years or whatever you want to do. And then I think the fee on there was the same fee we charged the last person that tied into it, so. I didn't bring a copy with me to see everything on there.
$250.
That's what the last fee was for the last individual.
So if you keep the agreement for 50 years, then 50 years from now, our fee will be $250.
Well,
But that's the last 50, that's what it's.
well, I mean, after 50
Was it
years,
40 years
is it a
ago?
null and void agreement, and then it's just a free-for-all? I don't know. I mean, it's a 2-inch plastic water main in the right of way. Is it really gonna be,
And
is it
issue.
gonna break the bank to do a repair on it? That's the thing. But I think it's more or less saying, hey, look,
It's there.
you got some skin in the game, so whatever you guys wanna put in that blank is fine. We've got one at 50 years, we've got run probably with 10 or 15 years left, so I don't know.
So Aaron, did you have any opinion? You talked once about the agreement timeline on that water main,
Whether it's 50 years or.
whether it's
perpetual.
50 years or you do it, just you attach it similar to how you do an easement on land.
Yeah, 50 years is fine. And so, and I preface this because this is what attorneys do. So I don't represent the county, I do not represent that other person. And that other person, for example, if that other person came to me as an attorney and said, how should I do this? I may suggest a different way for their benefit. It's gonna take more time and it would cost them some money. But from the county's perspective, this is fine. If I were that person, I might want it done a little bit different. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What does the board want to do? Someone make a motion for it.
You said 50, correct? We're good with 50?
Yeah.
50 years.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. So I'll move to approve the, what is it, the water main agreement at a, agreement, and the agreement shall run for 50 years from the date of year of.
Jim made a motion. Is there a second?
I second it.
And a second. Any further discussion?
Roll call, Jim,
Aye.
Sydney,
Aye.
Pam.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Todd.
Motion passes.
And then we'll get them to sign off on it and have copies.
Okay.
That's all I've got for you.
Can you remind me what, the Orchard Road there, is that gonna be a 22-foot road? Or what, how,
Which,
by the trout stream where they're doing
oh,
shoulders?
yeah, that's gonna be, what is it?
That's my question for you
Oh.
afterwards. So,
Yeah,
it's a 20-foot road.
It's a 20-foot road. We're paving 2 feet of shoulder on each side. We'll probably restripe it back to 20 feet, but it'll be hard surfaced a little wider.
Then in the plans, it doesn't, I didn't see it specified as far as for them to know to paint that at a
Yeah,
20-foot
okay.
road. So is that gonna be a verbal thing that you
We'll
remember
have
to
to,
tell them?
we'll have to, yeah.
Don't want them to go
'Cause
out
I
and all of a
think-
sudden shoot it.
Yeah, and I have to think and look at the cross section and if I,
Okay, that was my question, to make sure they painted correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Simple things.
Yeah, it's interesting, I was just on it the other day and this weekend, and I know we had discussions on what you were
I mean,
gonna,
we can stripe it at
no,
11-foot lanes and then have 1-foot shoulder, but I think keeping the roadway width narrower tends to slow traffic down and keeps them feeling confined where they don't want to speed.
And it doesn't mean that they can't get over it.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it
Yep.
has to happen,
Correct.
so.
I should look at that because
I couldn't find it in there, so that's why.
I don't know if the cross section probably didn't I think the final cross section just showed the full width when it was done, but it
Yeah.
didn't show where the lanes were gonna be paved again.
That was my
It is
question.
Okay. 9:00. We're gonna start our public hearing for fiscal year 26 budget amendment. I'm going to open the public hearing at 9:00 on the dot. Any oral or written comments from the board? Jim?
I had none.
I have none. Tim?
So I do have a question about the $40,000 non-departmental is the pre-treatment plan insurance. Did we get any confirmation if there is any other city or other entity that's been covering that, or as far as insurance wise?
No,
We
There
still need to try to research that. And if we don't, if we can find where that is, why,
no, I have not found that.
maybe
Town and
we can
Country,
reduce that.
Town and Country had insured it previously when the city had it, but then, when the county took it over, then they were told not to insure it anymore, and I don't have any other information on it
Right,
yet.
so the,
Mark, any comments?
None.
Todd?
Nope, none.
Okay. Any discussion or comments from the public? I am seeing none. Okay. Rachel, sorry, I didn't ask you. Okay. All right, I'm going to close the public hearing at 9:01. This would be resolution
1313-25.
1313-25. We have approved appropriations resolution number 1313-25. Where the expenditures increase 40,000 to sheriff's department, increase 400,000 to secondary roads, increase 10,000 to veterans affairs department, increase 6,000 to the board of supervisors department, increase 40,000 to the non-departmental department. Is there a motion to approve?
I would move to make that motion.
Todd made a motion. Is there a second?
I second it.
Pam second. Any further discussion?
Roll call, Todd.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Pam.
Aye.
Sydney.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Motion passes. Discussion and possible action on projects to be included in the 2025 urban renewal amendment.
So it's been a number of months ago, I got, let me get my stuff here. I got consensus from the board to include projects that we were doing at that time. And since then, we've had some other ones that have come in front of us. One would be the conservation project. Another one was the St. Ansgar project. And then now we can we'll consider as far as the Mitchell project. I guess I'm just looking to see if the board wants those in the urban renewal amendment or not.
So we'd be adding 3 projects to the 4 we already have.
Yeah, from what I had, we had the Historical Society, the Statesville Kids Care, the Faith Lutheran Home. That's the last that I had for consensus to include, and then conservation came up, and St. Ansgar came up, and City of Mitchell now come up. So looking to see if the board wants to add those other 3.
Oracle Society, Mitchell, St. Ansgar, Faith Home, Daycare, Conservation.
There'd be 6.
Okay, I have 6.
Board want to do them? Add them to the URP amendment?
I'm in favor of continuing on.
Mark?
Is that a motion? Because I mean, we have to have a motion and a second on the table to discuss.
Yeah, if we're gonna do it by action, we can certainly do it that way too. I was looking for consensus, but I don't have a problem voting on it, that's fine.
Well, I get, we're not voting on any amounts, you're just
Correct.
voting
We're
on.
just,
So, and then my question is, how is Heidi estimating what we can afford to pay back in debt if we don't have those amounts voted on?
Well,
Because each project is separate.
the amount that would be in the urban renewal amendment would be the not to exceed amounts, and then she would base her numbers on that. Then we approve those individual projects by resolution.
Correct. One doesn't necessarily dictate the other.
That's correct.
Correct.
so putting them in the project and then getting the paperwork and going through and seeing how we are able to either do an internal loan or some other outsource. And then we can come back together and vote individually on each project. It's not a whole project. So,
Well, I would prefer that we not include the Faith Lutheran Home. If this is just a general consensus discussion, I would prefer that we not include the Faith Lutheran Home because of the fact that we have other homes within our community that certainly are in need. And once again, we have to consider the precedent that we're setting and the taxes that our current taxpayers are paying. And it's a project that is in its very early stages. From what I have seen and heard from entities within the community. And not that I have anything against the Faith Lutheran Home, and I support their project. I don't know that we should use county TIF funds to do so. From that standpoint. So if that's just general consensus discussion.
And I disagree, but you say there's 4 nursing homes in the county. None of them have come to the table. I mean, so I have no idea what their needs are because they haven't come here to even discuss anything. So I don't know how we can compare one that is having a project that they want to improve, which is going to help the entire county. I would relate that to the other 3, but I don't understand that. But that's your opinion, okay?
Yep. And the fact that it's helping the entire county is also your opinion, because Stacyville area people are saying, wait a minute, our nursing home benefits us and this community, and people that come from the Minnesota area down to the Stacyville community. Same thing with Riceville over there. They're certainly saying that, wait a minute, our Riceville nursing home supports county people. Now, just because they didn't jump on the bandwagon to bring projects here, they certainly can do that and would do that, as far as that's concerned, without a doubt. That same thing with St. Ansgar's. They have made the comment that we didn't realize that the county was supporting the nursing homes. And that's coming from the constituents in the county.
all right, you want
Yeah, let's do it as an action vote. There's 6 projects. Did you want, was that a motion, Todd, or I'll make the motion? What do you want to do?
Yeah, for all the projects, so I would make a motion to continue on with our urban renewal projects.
Todd made a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Jim, second. Any further discussion?
Roll call, Sydney.
Aye.
Pam,
Nay.
Mark,
No.
Todd,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, we will work on that.
Discussion and possible action on NICOG Housing Trust Fund grant application. Looks like we got all of that document. Where is it? The Mitchell County Board of Supervisors have received a copy of the statement of activities for the NICOG Housing Trust Funds application for 2025 Rural Development Section 533 Housing Preservation Grant Program, and has determined that this proposed project or program is beneficial to Mitchell County. The proposed project does not duplicate current activities. Everyone get a chance to read over?
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me. But
The,
yes, I
yeah.
did.
Okay. The grant will be subject to 5-year retention.
For HVAC and projects and water heater projects. And they have to qualify with the homeowner's income being below the HUD 60% income limits.
In their email, it did mention that they were wondering if this was going to cause any, I can't remember the exact term, as far as duplication or conflict with any funding that we do through our general assistance. And general assistance in the past has always looked at our money is the last in. They always check for every other available sources. So
That's bizarre.
I don't see where this is going to be a conflict, because hopefully general assistance, ours, is going to look at this, use this as a funding source first, and then consider ours.
Right. And these are more long-term situations where our federal, or our general assistance is more of a possibility for assistance on an annual basis. This is more of systems and water heaters.
Yeah.
In homes. So, yeah, I don't think it is out of compliance with anything that we're already doing.
Is there a motion to approve NICOG Housing Trust Fund grant application?
I'll make the motion.
Mark made a motion. Is there a second?
I second it.
Pam, second. Any further discussion?
roll call, Pam.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Todd.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Sydney.
Aye. Motion passes. Approve clerk of court report for July of $1,971.14. Motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Jim made a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Todd, second. Any further discussion?
Roll call, Mark.
Aye.
Todd.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Sydney.
Aye.
Pam.
Aye.
Motion passes. Jim, meetings attended.
I went to begin with, at a NIACOG executive committee meeting. We went over the financials, approved the bills. We talked about a severance agreement between the proposed Forest City bus storage facility that's being constructed. And there was a couple of resolutions in regards to approve, revolving loan fund administrative plans. And one of them was a federal plan that's reached its time, not time ending date, but they can run that plan differently because it's had a number of years that it's more easy to access. The other one's a little bit more restrictive still because it's under federal guidelines, but it's still used. for the benefit of everybody in the Nyakog region. That's kind of the most of that. And I went to ISAC, very good conference. I missed the Wednesday one because I had this Nyakog meeting. I was there for the Thursday and Friday meeting. Thursday, went over the legislative statements as far as what Nyakog, which ISAC is going to put towards the legislature in our behalf, as far as all the counties. Stuff in regards to home rule, state mandates. I'm just going to go through all these really fast. Eminent domain in regards to the pipelines, outdoor recreational trust fund, property tax reform. That was a big deal, big conversation in regards to that. They feel that right now, this year, we're back to House File 718, which is going to affect us for this coming up budget, but they're expecting some changes that are going to happen on the horizon. There were 4 different ideas. 2 of them were not discussed because they're just all up in the air. One of them has to do with the 2%. You're based on 102% growth factor every year. The rollback goes away for industrial, commercial, and residential. So you can actually tax based on the total valuation that's there, but you're only allowed 102% growth from your previous year. So that's what I'll say holds things down. That's a topic. There were a lot of ideas from what other counties are doing in order to generate income, I guess is what we'll say. Sometimes it has to do with fees. We'll get into that more when we actually get into budgets, because these are some pretty good ideas to help us. Other parts of it were how to better utilize our general supplemental fund and different things that people were doing. So, yeah, there's a lot that went on. So that just touches on a little bit of it.
And
I met with the folks at Mitchell to hear what their ideas were, what their project was that they were proposing.
I also met with a few city council members on the Mitchell project. That's all I had.
I had FMC DCAT. I think I mentioned before about the carryover that the legislature was letting us do. So we approved that. We approved the preschool scholarships that had all been sent out. And then got a gentleman online. There was a realignment update, and he was online, and this is the 3rd month in a row, no new news. So, and that was it.
all right. Public comments? Keith?
Thank you very much for considering St. Andrew's project in your TIP upcoming projects. Obviously, we need to know at what level you would want to continue on in that so that we can plan for what we need to borrow, try and get them grants in the time, and what kind of timeline we have. Is this going to be in the 26th budget? Are we going to be, or is this going to be in the budget you're in?
There will be things in September. There will be a lot of things figured out this coming September.
That's what I want to know, so that we know what we need to do in order to. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other public comments? All right, I'm going to adjourn the meeting at 9:20.